Hey everybody, welcome to FunnelHackerTV. Today we are back with another special guest that is going to be speaking on stage at Funnel Hacking Live coming up in September. And this person, she actually has been kind of behind the scenes for a long time, and she's just coming forward because she's got amazing systems and a process and a framework that everyone who's doing any type of event needs to know about. So we will bring her on right after we roll the intro.
We are part of an underground group of entrepreneurs that you've probably never even heard of before. We are funnel hackers, and these are our stories.
Welcome to Funnel Hacking Live, everybody. Nope, incorrect one. Funnel Hacker TV. Funnel Hacking Live is happening in September. We cannot wait to see you guys there. On the trip to going there, we get to interview the speakers and be able to showcase them. And so my name is Ben Moot, and this is
Susan Leonardson.
And today we get to be able to interview somebody who's extremely, extremely special and extremely important. So really quick, guys, if you have not gotten updates and you want the updates for every single speaker, make sure you text FHTV to 208-231-3797. That'll make sure that you get a text message every single time we go live with a speaker announcement. But today we get to talk about Funnel Hacking Live. Funnel Hacking Live is the bee's knees. It is the game-changing event. And every other event, I don't know if you've noticed this, but for the last several years after COVID, if you go to any of the other events that are out there in our space, they're kind of quiet. They're kind of soulless, and there's less people there. And it's just been really, really interesting watching how ClickFunnels continues to up the game. Meanwhile, like the niche in the industry starts going down, you wonder why. Today we get to talk about the reason why. So quick story, really quick before we jump in. I was hired at ClickFunnels in 2016, right before Funnel Hacking Live in San Diego. That's the second Funnel Hacking Live that they ever did. And I jumped in, was able to see everything behind the scenes, all the pieces, trying to get everything together, get the speakers doing the exact thing that they're supposed to be doing, making sure that everything is aligned for the pitch at the end, all those different pieces. And I saw Russell at his best. I saw the team at their best, making it all happen. And I got to see the revenue numbers and things that we did. And I was like, wow, that was a whole lot of work. And we made it. We made it through, and it was just congratulatory. We were just excited. Several years later, I got to see behind the scenes after this person stepped in. And I don't want to destroy the story about how she was introduced to Russell, because everybody started telling Russell, that they needed to be using her. And when they did, guys, this is the reason Funnel Hacking Live has become the party that is the reason the budget continues to expand year after year. Last year, the budget was $3 million. The year before that, it was $2.5 million. Now it's $5 million. We're just upping the party, making it bigger, making it a place where you need to be, all because this woman became the key that made all of this work. So we are so excited to be able to welcome her to the stage. Let's go ahead and bring her on. Her name is Bari Baumgardner. Bari, how are you today?
Hi there. How are you? It's so good to be here.
It's wonderful.
Thank you for that intro. I feel like now I'm going to be known as the budget expander.
We just expand budgets here. No, it's not just expanding. It's like Russell's whole idea of a funnel is that you can put money in an order. It's whoever can spend the most to acquire a customer wins. And yes, we took an event, and you made the event that for us, made it possible for us to be able to throw a party because it made financial sense.
Well, and I mean, what a fun party it is. Like one of my favorite. I mean, it might be the best ever use of $5 million, meaning that there are very few events that A, invest that much, and B, take that $5 million and make it so fun.
Absolutely. No, it's Susan, when was the first year you went to Funnel Hacking Live?
3 years ago. So when was that? 2020?
2019? Yeah.
They're on the wall behind me, but I won't be rude and turn around and look. But yeah, so this will be my fourth one coming up. They're just so amazing. Like I've been to other events before for other companies and other industries, and it's just like it is a party. It's a party. It's fun. And then like the cool thing is that it's obviously there's a lot of money put into it to make it such an amazing event, but we all know as marketers and business people that the company wouldn't be putting that money into it if it wasn't profitable for them. And so that's that's like what you're here for, right? Like you don't just expand budgets, but you help people with their events to actually make them make sense and profitable and then fun for their people and make sense for their people, which is like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. And, I like to think of it not just as an incredible party. I think of this as a rock concert for entrepreneurs because everything about this event feels like a rock concert. Like, it's sexy. It has sizzle. I mean, you've got amazing music. You've got an incredible MC, incredible energy management, gifts from the minute that you walk in the door. Like, everything about this event screams rock concert, but then you're bringing like the most amazing, if they were bands, right? It's like the most amazing bands, but in our case, the most amazing speakers who are crushing it out there in the industry, in the trenches, bringing all their best ideas and all their behind the scenes secret sauce to the stage and sharing it with this audience. So you take the energy of a rock concert and then the IP of the the greatest of all time in our industry and put those together. It's like, how is it not going to be the most incredible 4 days?
Yeah.
So you don't just do ClickFunnels events though. You do events for lots of other people. And
Yes.
right now you're in a transition point. So we're catching you at this golden moment where we actually get to get you hopefully from behind the stage and on stage. And that's going to be absolutely spectacular. I'm so excited.
Well, thank you. Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I guess since 2017, I've always been behind the stage at ClickFunnels, helping to produce the show. And really at Sage, it's all about strategy. So we start a year out. Like the minute one funnel hacking ends, we start planning the next funnel hacking, believe it or not. We're already sourcing events for 24, 25, 26 for you guys. So we're always thinking about how can we make the next one even more epic. But this is the first time that I've actually gone from behind the stage to being on the stage. And I'm actually going to share not only what we do for Russell, but what we do for some of the biggest names in the space: Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Jeff Walker, Gabby Bernstein, Amy Porterfield, Matthew McConaughey. I mean, we did an event for Matthew McConaughey, Joel
That was
Osteen.
huge.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And the commonality between all of them is how do you create an incredible experience that lights people up and lets them see an opportunity they couldn't see before. So if you're out there and you're thinking, I just need to be reinvigorated, I know I'm meant for more, I just don't know how to get there, this is the event for you. Or if you're an entrepreneur and you're out there thinking, I've got a good business, but I'd like a great business, then this is the event for you. Or if you're an entrepreneur out there thinking, I've got a lot of zeros in my business, I'd like to add one more, this is the event for you.
That's crazy. So you're talking about that, and I want to talk about that in a second. But first, how did you meet Russell? Like, what was that like for you? What was that experience like? Because you were already doing all these event stuff in the past for people like Jeff Walker, and like, how did this come about?
Yeah, I think it's so interesting. I mean, I kind of admired Russell's work from afar. He had spoken on one of my stages. So a good friend of ours, who I just dearly loved, Dave Woodward, was with Russell and brought him to this event. And Russell was on stage and Dave and I started chatting backstage and he was like, so what do you do again? And how does this work? And I remember walking him and Russell to the elevator and he was like, so tell me one more time. So you don't just plan the event, you actually do the strategy and you help with the offer. I'm like, yeah, we do all those things. And I think it was like a year later, it was probably a year later, that Jeff Walker, who's a dear friend and a mentor and a client of ours, reached out to Russell and was like, you've got to hire Bari and the team at Sage. Like, don't even ask, just call her, hire them. And he's like, okay, sounds good. And Russell's told the story from stage, so I'm not saying anything he wouldn't say. But he basically was like, no. I mean, like, call her right now. You've got to hire them. It'll be a game changer for Funnel Hacking Live. So we got the call and the rest is history. We started planning the event in 2017. And I think, it's safe to say it was a measurable improvement from what it had been before. And we just keep growing and building on that. So it's a great way to meet Russell from a dear friend. And, when it's someone that you admire so much, I really was so impressed by everything that he created and how he really supported and loved his community and how dedicated he was to making it an incredible experience. Like, to me, the best thing in the world to happen is if you can make Russell's eyes light up and get him he's like so excited about something. Like, we all live for that. It's like, I think part of what makes Funnel Hacking Live so amazing is that Russell's a kid at heart, and behind the scenes, if we make Russell happy, then we know we're going to make his whole audience happy because, they're really similar. And who doesn't want to be wowed?
Now, one of the still continue on that timeline, and we've been mentioning Funnel Hacking Live and other big events. which are all like stage in-person events. But I know, because I've heard your story, I think when you were speaking at Mastermind in Paradise in Mexico, that something happened, and I'll let you tell the story, but something happened that affected everyone in the entire world, but it made you start to move from not just in-person events, but it's actually, this all applies to virtual events too.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting because for 17 years, I've been running Sage Event Management when COVID hit. So I started Sage in 2004 out of an extra bedroom in my house with just like a big idea and a business card. How many of you out there can relate to that? Like big idea, business card, computer, I'm in business. And so I like kind of hung my shingle out there. I'm like, I'm an event planner. And, it started with one event that led to 2 events, that led to 5 events. We started working with Glazer Kennedy, and then that led to working with a lot of people in this space. And so really for 17 years, we've been focused on the world of high ticket offers and enrollment events and events that help people be the best possible version of themselves, which is a pretty cool space to be in. And then COVID hit. So I think in March of 2020, we were at an event in Miami, my husband Blue and I. We were running an event for foot and ankle practitioners, and not nearly as sexy as Funnel Hacking Live, but still a good event. And we flew into Miami on this super, super crowded flight. And, when you're as busy as we are and you fly as much as we do, we're million milers, right? So it's a dubious honor. It means you fly way too much. And it generally means that we always get upgraded to first class. So we always buy a coach ticket. We get upgraded to first class because of our status. On the flight to Miami, we didn't get upgraded. And I remember looking at Blue and being like, when the airport's this busy and the flight's this busy, like, I think this COVID thing is not really a thing. Like, everything is still working. It's just a bunch of media hype, right? So then we're at this event in Miami, running it for this foot and ankle group. And Trump is forced to shut the country down. So this is March of 2020. And we flew out of Miami on an empty flight. Like there were like 10 people on the whole flight and we were in first class. And I remember I looked at Blue, I'm like, okay, now it's a thing. And our world literally imploded overnight. I mean, if any of you can remember it feels like forever ago, and also kind of like yesterday, that the world just shifted forever. And for sure, the event world shifted forever. We had an event the first week of April that was going to be in person in Indianapolis. Of course, it wasn't going to happen, and neither were any of the other events on our calendar. We generally, at that point, we're doing 40 to 50 events a year, all for big names in our space, and every single one, like phone call, postponed, canceled, postponed, canceled, postponed, canceled. And so we had a quick decision to make. We're like, okay, this event that was going to be in person the first week of April, what if we did a virtual event instead of an in-person event? What would that be like? And so literally within 2 weeks, we completely reinvented our business, created a concept for virtual events. My husband Blue launched a software company to run the virtual event from. And, again, I think the rest is history. I think by June, Tony came knocking. We started working with Tony Robbins. We did our first ever virtual UPW. Small, like you guys have been to funnel hacking before. No, Tony's been on the funnel hacking stage many times. Everything is big with Tony. And so we supersized it, created the first ever virtual stadium, and had our largest ever UPW in person or virtual. It was pretty incredible. So yeah, I mean, I often talk about necessity as the mother of invention, and I really think that's true. We wouldn't have pivoted that quickly. I don't know that we would have pivoted at all, if I'm being really honest, but certainly not that quickly if that hadn't happened. And it was one of the best things to happen to us as a company, to our clients who now can reach people globally, but also I think to the event world in general, where things really hadn't changed for decades and decades. And all of a sudden there's a new and, not nor. You can have virtual, you can have in person, you can do both, which I think is pretty amazing. Yeah. So
I want to ask a question really quick, because I get to see the Voxes. I'm included in the Voxes every once in a while, where Russell is Voxing you and the team. And he's like, I'm like, well, we could do this. And he's like, no. Bari needs to sign off on this. And it's like, no, we don't do anything unless Bari says it's not going to. I remember the order forms last year. We were trying to get the order forms like out, and they weren't quite right. They weren't quite sure. And he's like, when they need to go printing right now. You're like, whoa, this is important enough that we just pause. We can pay more to print it later and get it right. And this is what we do. And it was like, oh my gosh. And you lowered Russell's stress level, but the strategy, understand, that you bring in is so heavily leaned on. That's kind of part of what you're talking about at Funnel Hacking Life, right?
It is. It is what I'm going to talk about. And, to your point, it might be something like an order form, but nuances matter a lot in our space. So we put a lot of thought into the big picture, the macro view, but a lot of thought into the little details, the micro view, and the two coming together are what make a really incredible event like Funnel Hacking Live come alive. What I'm going to be talking about on the stage is something that is near and dear to my heart that I really care about, which is this concept of through line and the importance of knowing the destination, where you're going, and then reverse engineering how you're going to get there. And here's a simple analogy to help you think about it. Let's say that you were driving your business like a car. You're out there and you're an entrepreneur and you're like, I know I'm headed somewhere. Let's say I'm going to go to the beach today. I'm just going to get my car and drive around until I hit the beach. Eventually, I'm bound to hit a beach. So I'm going to get in, I'm going to drive, eventually I'll hit it. Or I could type it into my GPS and tell it I want to go the fastest path on the most interstates, the least traffic, and then just follow the instructions. And lo and behold, I got there simple, fast, and easy to the exact destination that I wanted to go to. So how many of you are out there driving your car, driving your business like a car? You're just like, eventually I'm going to get where I'm trying to go, instead of going, wait a minute, if I knew the exact destination, then I could reverse engineer all the steps and go turn by turn, avoid all the bad traffic, hit all the fast lanes, and get exactly where I was trying to go faster, simpler, and easier, virtually guaranteed, right? Because how many times do you type something in your GPS and you don't get there? It's pretty rare, right? So that's exactly what Funnel Hacking Live is. It's like a GPS for your business. And I'm going to give you the tool that Russell uses, that we use every single year, to say, this is the destination where we're going, and this is how we're going to get there. And it's all part of this model called, you might guess, the linchpin model. And so a big part of linchpin is like, I know, right? When Russell introduced linchpin, like I'm in the Atlas group, in Russell's Atlas group. And I have to tell you, when he introduced it, all of us were like, oh, like this is brilliant, because it's simple, it's intuitive, it's easy to follow. And it really is the holy grail of building a business with a lot of zeros, starting with the funnel and then going from there. And I'm going to talk about how live events are part of that through line, that GPS. If you start with a funnel, you take all the steps that Russell's going to teach you, and you add a live event, how it's going to add a zero or more to your business.
And that's like, this is the capstone of the linchpin. This is that last piece that actually sinks it in and makes it work. It's moving up the value ladder, that last piece, and collecting that extra zero. And it's,
well, and listen, if you were to create the most amazing business and you designed it in a way where people are like, that was awesome, but I want more. And you're like, that's all I got. Versus saying, really? I thought you might want more. I'm so glad you followed me this far. Why don't you join me for a live event and take the next step? Be part of this incredible experience with like-minded people just like you, because that's what an event is. And all that funnel work, all the linchpin work that you've done has created this warm, amazing audience that can't wait to experience more with you. And so why would you not want to give them the most incredible event experience and lead them to the next step that's going to add a zero to your business, if not two, if not three? It literally is like the leverage maker in our industry, a live event. But here's the thing I want you to know. And this ties back to that pivot that we had to make in our business. While I think that Funnel Hacking Live is the most amazing in-person event experience, like you really want to be part of this event, I also love the fact that if you're out there thinking, I can't possibly put on a Funnel Hacking Live, I don't have Russell money, I don't have Russell brand, I don't have Russell team, I can't possibly do the things that Russell does. I'm going to have to wait to have a live event until I can afford to do it like Russell. Well, now you can use all the strategy that Russell uses without any of the expense it ever had. You don't need to spend $5 million. What's amazing about this is what I call the democratization of live events, which means that from your home with a computer and a television and a Zoom account, those are the only 4 things you need. Your house, got it. Computer, guessing you have it. TV, I'm betting you have it. A Zoom account, if you don't, you should. Those are the only 4 things you need to literally launch a virtual live event from your living room. So where before you had to get a hotel, you had to have a contract, you had a food and beverage minimum, you had rental, you had all this overhead and liability. It kept amazing hosts like you sitting on the sideline forever. So you're an entrepreneur, you want to host, you want to like harness the power of a live event and a high ticket offer, but you can't possibly think of embracing that liability and those costs. Now you don't have to. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it from the stage of Funnel Hacking Live.
If you do not have your tickets, you need to get it. Go to funnelhackinglive.com. Make sure you have your tickets because I am so excited, not just for the party. Yes, it is a party and yes, it is a rock concert, but the education that you get, you want to hold all the ideas that you get that come off stage and just treasure them for the rest of your life. These are going to be golden nuggets, every single one. And Bari is.
Well, and here's the thing. I bet there are speakers on the stage you don't even know you need to know. And I think that's another part of the incredible brand of Funnel Hacking Live that's given it the longevity and the excitement it does, is that there's some really heavy hitters that are on this stage that you've heard of, that you can't wait to see. And then there are the ones that you've never heard of. And after you see them, you're like, where have you been all my life? How did I not know you? Because they're dropping gems all day long. Bring a big notebook.
So in preparation for getting ready for Funnel Hacking Live, everyone who is buying their ticket get access to bonuses that the speakers from stage are putting into the pot. There's just bonuses like crazy. They're so awesome. And Bari, you have one that you're also going to be adding into that. Would you like to share a little bit of detail about what that is?
I would love to. So we are going to give you access to our 3-day virtual live event called the Virtual Event on Virtual Events. So this is all the recordings, all the details from 3 full days that literally walk you through the model of how to reverse engineer your strategy. So when you come to Funnel Hacking Live, I'm going to be giving you exactly how to use it in the linchpin, how to make a high ticket offer, an important part of how you add incredible leverage to your business. But then you're going to say, but I need to know all the details of how to actually create a virtual live event so that I can launch it from my living room. And that's exactly what we do at TVE. So you're going to get access to 3 full days of the recordings. It's valued at $497. If you to go out and have to pay for this at this moment in time, that's what you'd be spending. But it's our gift to you because we believe that much in you and you being at Funnel Hacking Live and in the power of Funnel Hacking Live to change your world, change your business, change yourself, change the future of your family forever.
What an amazing bonus. Thank you so much for contributing that. Like, I can't wait to dive in.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
And so
Yeah,
if you don't have your tickets yet, go to funnelhackinglive.com. You can just go over there right now. Just open a tab on the side. Make sure that you go over there, get your ticket. I'm going to be honest. One of the magical things about Funnel Hacking Live is being able to stay in the hotel where you don't have to figure out how you're going to get home, what's going to happen, and you disconnect from the atmosphere, you disconnect from the people. You want to be there. You want to see the speakers. You want to be surrounded by all these people. You don't know who you're sitting next to or who you'll have the opportunity to be able to hang out with in the evenings. You want to get your ticket now so that way you can get your ticket on site. You can stay in the hotel. It is an event like none other. Make sure that you go to funnelhackinglive.com and get that ticket.
Yeah. And don't just get your ticket. Bring your spouse, bring your business partner, bring your best friend, bring a person who's with you on the entrepreneurial journey and make it even more fun. I really mean that. Like my husband, Blue, and I are in business together. Whenever we go to an event, we always go together because for me to go home and try and explain to him, like, this is all the stuff I learned. These are all the things. It's impossible. You can't do it. So bring your person with you. Bring your best friend, bring your entrepreneurial friend, bring your spouse, your significant other, your business partner, your kid. No, maybe not your kids. But everybody else you should bring with you. And you've got to stay in the hotel. Like you guys said it, but this is super true. What happens in the room and what happens in the hallway and in the restaurants and in the elevator and in all the moments that happen at the hotel are absolutely as important as what happened in the room. It like all comes together to create this amazing week. You never know who you're going to be standing next to, sitting next to, having lunch next to, having dinner with. And the way you do that is by being at the hotel, not like trying to get a cab, trying to grab an Uber, racing to the hotel, being a few minutes late because it's just too much. So just be at the hotel, make your life easy, take advantage of every single minute of all 4 days. And I guarantee you it will be a life-changing experience. You will thank me later.
Go ahead and do it. Susan,
all right.
Can you run down the full offer real quick? Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, can you run down the full offer real quick?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so funnelhackinglive.com. Thanks for pulling up the video. Okay, when you go to funnelhackinglive.com, you are, like we said, you're not only getting your ticket, you are also getting pre-access to the marketing AI into your account. There's bonuses. You get all of the replays from all of the past Funnel Hacking Lives. So like you can go back and watch all of the amazing speakers that Bari was bringing up of like, there's the people that we see year after year, but there's also the introduction to new people that we should know, and they are all in there. Plus you get all of the speaker bonuses from everyone speaking in there this year, which is going to be amazing. So make sure you go to funnelhackinglive.com. Bari, thank you so much for being here with us. We really appreciate you and your time. And we can't wait to all be together in person at Funnel Hacking Live. All right, everybody.
Thank you for having me. Funnel Hacking Live, be there. Grab your ticket now. What are you waiting for? Like literally right now, click the button, grab it. You want to be with us in Orlando in September. If you're not, you're going to regret it. Like seriously for a really long time, because you're going to be sitting at home. All these people will be talking about how amazing it is, posting pictures, posting videos. And not just that, they're going to be figuring out how to add zeros to their business. Don't miss the opportunity to do that. We have to see you there. Get your ticket now.
Get your ticket. All right, everybody. We'll see you guys next time on Funnel Hacker TV. Bye, everybody.
Bye for now.
There are so many people walking around who don't know that they can change the world.
You were born to do something great with your life. As an entrepreneur, you're going to have painful experiences, but all pain is temporary. And if you can survive it, you will meet another version of yourself.
I was just numb. We were racking up credit cards. We stopped paying for our house. We literally were selling furniture out of our home.
I felt trapped and exhausted by my life, and I couldn't see a way out. I felt like a shell of who I was made to be.
In life, you are most capable of helping the person you used to be. If you used to be broke, you can help broke people. If you used to be broken, you can help broken people.
It starts with you. You hear the call. You feel it. It's beating, it's pulsing. I'm made for something more.
We get scared.
And then fear hits us.
The little voices in the back of our head.
I'm not ready. I'm not worthy. The driven say, no, I'm going to do it. The driven are you guys here today.
More people are finding their breaking point and waking up.
I have a calling. Yesterday I realized I have to do this.
There's a soul here at ClickFunnels.
I felt like I had gone through the wardrobe of the Chronicles of Narnia, and I was just like, what is this magical place that makes billionaires?
I'm going to show you the magic trick that's made me all of my money.
My best-selling framework.
Start out closing if you're going to end up
82%
closing.
82% of customers trust influencers.
This better blow your mind and allow you to predict the future.
People need aliveness and meaning again.
Who do you want to become? What do you want to felt and experience in this one precious life?
You wouldn't be able to tell, but I ran the New York Marathon when I was 19. Life happened, and my mom passed away. One of my daughters had a traumatic brain injury, wasn't expected to live.
When you meet somebody that continues to push through adversity, that is the definition of an entrepreneur. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sponsor you through this journey because everybody deserves an opportunity. What you do with it is up to you.
People feel a sense of belonging here.
It feels like home. It's so encouraging because if they can do it, so can I.
It starts with saying, hey, next year we're going to get better.
Russell has a way of teaching that makes success faster.
In my opinion, he's the best marketer ever lived.
You find exactly what your business is missing.
It's going to amplify every campaign you do.
If you've been thinking there has to be a better way to do this than what you're being told, I'm here to tell you you're right.
People might say you're too young or you're too old or your body's not right or you didn't go to the right school. Then one day, they're telling people how they met you.
Funnel Hacking Live changed my entire life because now I know what I'm going to do next.
Your family's going to be blessed. Your legacy's going to be blessed. Movements are about to be birthed.
story hopefully gave women permission.
Stand your feet. You do not have to be great to get started, but you have got to start if you ever want to be great.